We've all seen the classic courtroom scene. A lawyer paces back and forth, grills a witness, and dramatically exposes a lie. It makes for great TV. But in the real world, cognitive psychologists have found something pretty terrifying about aggressive cross examination. It doesn't just test a witness's memory, it can actually rewrite it. Today, we're talking about how the legal system inadvertently programs false memories into totally honest people. To understand how this happens, we have to bust a massive myth. Your brain is not a video camera. You don't just hit record on life, save the file, and press play when you're on the witness stand. Memory is reconstructive. Think of it more like a puzzle. Every single time you remember an event, your brain drags the pieces out of storage and puts them back together. The catch? If someone hands you a piece that doesn't belong while you're building that puzzle, your brain will often just snap it right in and assume it was always there. In court, cross-examination is basically a masterclass in handing people the wrong puzzle pieces. There are three main ways a lawyer accidentally contaminates a witness's memory during a cross-examination. First, the misinformation effect. This is super subtle. If an attorney asks you, "Did you see the broken headlight on the getaway car?" Even if the headlight wasn't broken, your brain instantly visualizes a broken headlight. Suddenly, that false detail gets permanently baked into your memory of the crime. Second, leading questions. Cross-examination loves yes or no questions. They don't want you to tell your story, they want you to agree with their story. Phrases like, "Isn't it true that?" force your brain into a corner, twisting your mental image to fit their narrative framework. Third, authority and social pressure. Imagine being stuck in a high-stress courtroom facing a high-status lawyer who's aggressively grilling you. Sincere but uncertain witnesses naturally hate saying, "I don't know," so their brains automatically fill in the blanks to satisfy the authority figure. Over time, those guessed details harden into what the witness genuinely believes is a real recollection. Now, this is totally different from direct examination, which is when the friendly lawyer who calls the witness asks the questions. Direct examination uses open-ended questions like, "What happened next?" It lets the witness build their own accurate timeline under moderate stress. But cross-examination is hostile by design. Its literal goal is to fracture context, disrupt the narrative, and spike the witness's stress levels. And high stress is like rocket fuel for memory errors. Here is the absolute scariest part of all of this: confidence inflation. Once a witness's memory is altered by a lawyer's tricky phrasing, the witness doesn't realize it. In fact, their confidence is that new, fake memory actually goes up. They aren't lying on the stand. They honestly, truly believe they saw what they are describing. And who does that mislead? The jury. Juries heavily rely on how confident a witness looks to decide if they are telling the truth. When a witness is authentically confident about a false memory, it's incredibly persuasive. The real-world consequences are devastating. Data from the Innocence Project shows that faulty eyewitness testimony is a contributing factor in over 60 to 75% of wrongful convictions that were later overturned by DNA evidence. A huge chunk of that faulty memory gets locked in during trial prep and aggressive courtroom questioning. So next time you see a lawyer tearing a witness apart on TV, remember, they aren't just unearthing the truth. They might be accidentally writing a whole new version of it. What do you think? Should courts limit how aggressive lawyers can be with eyewitnesses?